Okay, we're moving up in the numbers, so I'm going to be actually doing less work now. But if you do need to reach out to me because you think you see an error, you see something that's inconsistent, please email me. Let me know that, and I'll improve the document with input from readers. All right, let's take a look. It wants me to expand at least 5 terms. What do I do over here is I assume I can do it. All right. Of course, sometimes assuming things you can do might be incredibly difficult numerically, but I think I can handle it. So I'm assuming this. Then what I do, I clear the fraction by multiplying both sides by the LCD. I get this over here. I got to be honest with you, my big problems here is just multiplying it out. And it's not a pleasant thing to do, but it's not a bad thing to do. So if you were to multiply this thing out, I want to kind of write it down what you get. You would get 2a plus 2bx plus 2c x squared plus 2d x cubed. Got to get one more term because I want at least 5 terms, right? 2e x4. All right, let's go on to the x squared now. What are you going to get? A x squared plus bx cubed plus cx4. All right, that's not so bad. All right, now I'm going to do this cube thing over here. And what does that give me? That's going to give me minus 3a x cubed. And then what are you going to get? You're going to get minus 3b x4. By the way, this goes on forever, but I'm not going on forever. I'm just going to go on to 5 terms. So I'm going to equate coefficients. Let me get my eraser out. And I'm going to equate coefficients. So 2a has to be equal to 3. Well, I think that's pretty obvious that a is going to be 3 halves. Let me outline that for you. That's written over here. I'm going to now erase this and move on to the next guy. Should be relatively simple to do, by the way. 2bx, there is no x in the problem, so 2b has to equal 0. So what's b? b is 0. By the way, I got a problem now. I lost a term. So I want to point out I have to extend this. All right? I have to extend it. And someone says, oh, that's terrible. Yeah, it happens. All right? So when we get there, I'll extend it. Don't worry. I'll extend when I get there. So let's go to the next guy. And x squareds, they have to sum to 0 as well. Let's write that down. So 2c plus an a has to be 0. So 2c, what's a? 3 halves, right? Has to equal to 0. 2c has to be minus 3 halves. c is minus 3/4. All right? Let me show you where that is in your notes, right over here. All right? I'm going to erase that work because we're pretty much done with it. And again, it's surprising. Some people can do it in their head. I could never do it in my head. Let's go to the cubes. All right, what do you got? You have 2d plus b minus 3a has to be equal to minus 4. Well, I don't know d. B is 0, and a is going to be 3 halves. All right, let's write that down. That's going to be minus 9 halves equals, I'm going to write this as minus 8 halves. 2d is 1 half, or d is 1/4. Let me show you where that's written, right over here. All right, get my eraser out. Kind of done with that. We got more work to do. Yeah, I'm going to do this 4th degree, and I'll write write this down for you. It's going to be 2e plus c minus 3b. Well, there is no fourth degree term, so that's equal 0. I don't know what a is. What's c? It's minus 3/4, and b is 0. So what do you get? 2e is going to be 3/4, or e is equal to 3/8. Let me highlight for you. That's right over here. All right, now someone says you only got a certain number of terms now, and what I mean by that, if I were to write this down, let me erase this business over here. If I were to write this down here, I really only have 4 terms now. What I mean by that, I'll write it down for you. What do you get? You would get 3/2. The b is 0, so there's no x. Then you get minus 3/4 x squared. I'm just clipping these off one at a time. And then you're going to get a quarter x cubed. And then you're going to get this over here, which is 3/8 x to the 4th power. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So I'm missing somebody. And I didn't expect it. But now I have to deal with it. So I have to get another one, right? So let's put this down. So what are you going to put down now? Well, I'm going to put this missing column in that I don't have anymore. And I'm just going to do the coefficients. Not going to bother with the letter. All right? Maybe I'll bother with the letter. Yeah, maybe I should. So we're looking for the 5th degree, right? x5. So where would that come from? It would certainly be 2f. All right? And let's do the, for the x squared guy, where would that come from? That would be x squared times dx cubed, right? That would be dx5. And where would the other guy come from? It would be for the 5th degree on that minus 3, right? So minus 3, let's see, where would that come from? The square, right? So minus 3c x5. And I know that has to sum to 0. So 2f plus d minus 3c must be equal to 0. I don't know what f is. Do you know what d is? It's a quarter. Do you know what c is? It's minus 3 times minus 3/4. So c is minus 3/4. What do you get? Plus 9/4. That equals 0. And so 2f, this is going to be 10/4. Whoops, sorry about that. Equals 0. So 2f, 10/4 is 5/2, right? So minus 5/2. And then you have to divide by 2, right? What's that going to be? Minus 5/4. Let me show you where that is in the notes, right over here. And I could write that down now. Then we'll look at the answer key. So it's going to be minus 5/4 of an x5. And again, this goes on forever. Let's get a grading key and see if we got the answer. 3/2, 3/2. Minus 3/4 of an x squared, plus 1/4 x cubed, 3/8 x4, minus 5/4 x5. And we are done. Thank you.